In a town world famous for entertainment, the Sphere is in a class by itself. The world's largest spherical structure. The town's most expensive venue. 1 million LEDs on the outside, 16K wraparound LED on the inside. You're about to experience the Sphere.
And my friends, we're going to be entertained by the likes of John Mayer and original members of the Grateful Dead.
So get ready, because this adventure starts right now.
Hello, my friends, from the 26th floor of the Encore Resort. Today, we present a video that celebrates the most dazzling entertainment venue ever to be built. Next month, the Sphere will mark its first birthday, and how proud is Las Vegas to be its home? Paula's on her way to a concert, courtesy of our good pal with great connections, Matt Bailey. Tonight's show is called Dead Forever, a multimedia concert by the band Dead and Company. They were booked for a 30-show residency at the Sphere from May to August. In fact, the final show was last night, August 10th. We'll talk more about the band members later, but Dead and Company came to be in 2015, creating a resurgence and a whole new generation of fans for the music of the Grateful Dead. As we walk east on Sands Avenue, those tie-dyed t-shirts aren't only on folks from my generation. We're seeing plenty of younger flower children as well. Dead and Company has completed 10 tours, played to 4 million fans, set attendance records, and raised more than $13 million for nonprofits, environmental, and social causes. Overhead is the skywalk that takes pedestrians from the Venetian Expo to the Sphere, but it's not accessible today because of a convention. They know I'm watching from the window at Encore.
Hi, Dale.
And here we are on the actual grounds of the Sphere for the first time ever. We immediately feel dwarfed by the sheer size of the thing. The largest spherical building in the world. It's 366 feet tall and 516 feet wide. This is called the Exosphere, 580,000 square feet of LEDs. They're known as pucks, 1.23 million of them spaced 8 inches apart. We need to walk to the east side of the building headed for Will Call. Now here's a few things you're going to want to know if you're going. We're past security and in the Plaza concierge area where Matt is picking up the tickets. It's a longish, narrow room with desk agents at the ready and a very short wait. And we're in. This is Plaza level. There's a merchandise stand, but we'll check that out later. Right now, we're on a mission. We can't wait to get to our seats. By the way, that's Gort, the humanoid robot. The escalators aren't your garden variety one-story models. These things cover some distance. This is main level, but again, we're still headed up. Impressive promo and logo for tonight's show. It definitely evokes excitement. We step off the escalator at level 2, where we'll access our seats. First, though, a glance down to the main level. And some words from Matt, who's been here before.
The Sphere is one of those venues you have to go into, you have to be a part of to really understand its impact and really believe how awesome it is. It really plays with your senses, so you'll have to get your sea legs, but you're in for a fun night.
I can't wait. Thank you.
Section 205 is the destination. We already grabbed a water. Let's do this. Let's talk about this marvel for just a second. The inside of Sphere is big enough to actually hold the Statue of Liberty. The project began in 2018, but it wasn't until September 2023 that it opened its doors. The designers used centuries-old mathematical formulas plus 22nd century engineering and technology to make it happen. In fact, we learned that many parts were first built in virtual reality, then computer models so they could test the strength and functionality. At 7:37 p.m., the band takes the stage. You'll have to pardon this fellow. He stood for the entire concert, but we did try to work around him. Almost instantly, close-ups of the band are projected in large scale at eye level for the audience. That's Bob Weir, rhythm guitarist, vocalist, and founding member of the original Grateful Dead. And this is Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter John Mayer. He became a huge fan of the Dead's repertoire and together with 3 former members of the band created Dead and Company in 2015. So far we aren't seeing the spectacle, but wait, it's coming. Meanwhile, these projections are pretty amazing. In case you're wondering, there's not an empty seat to be had. The crowd is loving it and we're only on the opening number. That light dancer attracted our attention even from the second level. Okay, you ready for this? The skeleton slowly moves aside as though it were a curtain and reveals the unmistakable row houses of San Francisco where the Grateful Dead came to be. Remember when Matt said it would mess with your mind? Here's the environment, the crowd. The 160,000 square foot LED media plane, and the stage. Rolling Stone described this as the most dazzling visual show in Grateful Dead history. Its storytelling set to music in a way we have never seen. As the song progresses, we zoom out from those row houses to the cityscape. The Earth, the stars, the galaxy. Keeping with the space theming, Song 3 is a classic we all recognize. How sweet it is. The black hole eventually resolves itself into tie-dye in fabulous 16K resolution. Now, all you Deadheads out there will recognize the Dancing Bears, a visual icon of the Grateful Dead for 50 years. They were drawn by artist Bob Thomas for a 1973 live album, an homage to the Grateful Dead's original soundman, who was nicknamed Bear. By the way, if you've gone through Palazzo Atrium recently, you may have seen the Dancing Bears over by the pool in front of the Love sculpture. That's where we read the backstory on these cute guys. Next up, we've got a paint-by-number canvas that evolves quickly into a bright rainbow scene. We just love how the musicians appear within the design. When Sphere adds standing room ticketing, as they have for this show, the venue holds about 20,000 people. And did I mention the sound? There are 1,586 permanent speakers and 300 mobile modules, most of which are hidden behind the LED, and together they've created Sphere Immersive Sound. Rounding out the rest of Dead and Company besides Bob and John are original Grateful Dead percussionist Mickey Hart, Jeff Chimenti on keyboards, drummer Jay Lane, and Oteil Burbridge on bass guitar. Much of the crowd stood for the entire set. Of all the projections, this one was the vertigo inducer. But then again, it also created drama. What's at the end of that spiral? It's an Egyptian desert landscape complete with a moon going full. The final tune of the set filled the LED screen with endless Grateful Dead emblems in every direction. It's when you put the crowd into frame that you realize what a spectacle this is. Ultimately, the design morphed into these flowing clouds of brilliant color, and it was gorgeous. But always, the band was projected into the scene. Now here's a fun fact about John Mayer. Watching Marty McFly in Back to the Future is what inspired him to want to play guitar when he was a kid. That guy's incredible. In fact, they're all superb musicians.
Paula?
Am I a mess?
No. Okay, Miss Paula, you just saw the first act of Grateful Dead, Dead and Company at the Sphere. What do you think of the Sphere?
So, first of all, the Sphere, I just said this to you, Matt. It is run like a well-oiled machine. Everything is flawless, perfect, and the people that work here are really nice. Nobody is abrupt or brusque or pushing us along, which I give them a big thumbs up for that because there's thousands of people here. Secondly, the first song, they didn't do anything with the Sphere, so you're just looking at this metallic structure. And then in the second song, all of a sudden, San Francisco skyline comes up and you're utterly dazzled. And from then on, it was jaw-dropping. Every single scene that changed with each song, and the acoustics, superb. Visually and orally, it's just stunning.
Paula decided not to stay for the second act because we were also in the middle of a staycation at Encore, which you'll see next week. But she did stop at Dead and Company merchandise booth and take a look at the goods for sale. There were several of these and lines of fans at all of them. It's just after 9 p.m. when Paula heads back out to the Plaza. The Las Vegas monorail goes by. And the Sphere at night is nothing short of a marvel. The Sphere website lists 16 different talented artists collectively known as XO Art, who've contributed their work to the world's largest, most technologically advanced canvas, a creative canvas that can even be seen from space.
My friends, the Sphere cost $2.3 billion to put together. It took them 5 years to build it. But of course, in and among all that, we had a pandemic. We had a supply chain crisis. We had all kinds of disasters when you're trying to build the biggest spherical building in the world. But they certainly succeeded, and was it not spectacular?
And I'll tell you what, the room we had at Encore was a perfect view of the Sphere and all the happenings right around there.
Yeah, actually, we'll talk about some more things that are on the face of the Sphere when we do the Encore video. But for this one, we wanted to focus strictly on the building itself and, of course, the Dead and Company show. What did you think of the show, Dale?
It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you, the visuals were just amazing. Not sure if I can, with the hating heights and stuff like that, not sure I could do that, but you were actually down pretty low.
Yeah, actually, we had superb seats. Thank you so much, Matt. We'll talk about Matt in a minute. But yeah, the other thing I want to mention to my musician husband is those guys are so great. Their prowess on the instruments, they were just incredible, and they had such a good time playing. You just knew they were enjoying themselves immensely.
I did get to listen to the track, of course, with copyright restrictions and stuff.
Yeah,
I couldn't play a lot of it, but yeah, it was really fantastic. So what's coming next to the Sphere, you ask? Well, we just saw an article that an abbreviated version of The Wizard of Oz might be coming to the Sphere.
Think about that with the 160,000 square feet of LED. My head explodes.
Can you see the witch flying through the air and the whole thing?
Amazing.
It would be just an amazing. Of course, that right now they haven't.
It's in the works.
It's in the works. And as soon as they say give it the go, we're going to let you guys know as well.
Yeah. So we did want to circle back and just say big thank you to our friend Matt Bailey. Matt is an incredibly accomplished young man. He is just 30 years old. He's a producer for Sky News. That's his day job. But
you know where he was before he came to us? He was covering the Republican convention. After he left us, he's heading over to do the Democratic convention.
He has an amazing life. And then his side gig that he does more for fun than anything else is something called the Music Universe, where he gets to go to all these concerts. He goes to Nashville, Vegas, LA, New York, whatever, and he writes and reviews. That's what he was doing with Dead & Company. He was doing reviews, and he got to go all 3 nights, lucky guy.
Comped. Did you see the price of those tickets?
Yeah, thank goodness. He didn't pay for them, neither did we.
Yeah.
And in addition, he does a podcast called Talk for Two. And guess who was on Talk for Two?
We were.
We were.
So we're going to give you a link to that so you can check it out.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Matt. It was an extraordinary evening, and I am so grateful to have gotten inside the sphere.
All right. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button. Anything else you want to tell these nice people, Miss Paula?
We are going to Encore next week. We will see you then.
Hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.